Welcome to the Judgement podcast. Here we discuss ruled Supreme Court cases and give our own opinions on them. During the pandemic, hate towards Asians have peaked.
Disturbing surge of racist attacks against Asian Americans.
Asian Americans are facing discrimination not felt since the Japanese American internment camps during World War II.
Asians who've never been to Asia during the time of the pandemic were accused of having the virus, something that sounds absurd. But did discrimination against Asians always take place in America? Could America, a country of freedom and opportunity, have prevented Asians from becoming naturalized citizens just because of their race? Lucky for you, today we'll be talking about the Ozawa vs. United States lawsuit. Takao Ozawa was born in Japan, but lived in the United States for more than 20 years. He went to both high school and college in the United States as well. He has a family here and sends his children to American public schools. I mean, he seems American to me. He speaks fluent English and even attends church on the weekends. Technically, he is qualified for naturalization, but he was denied of it because of his race. At the time, only those of the Caucasian race could be naturalized. Ozawa was rejected for citizenship because of the naturalization laws, which existed from 1790 through 1870, which states that people who were alien to the free white men category should not be given citizenship. Ozawa applied on October 16, 1914 to the Hawaiian District Court to be admitted as a citizen of the United States. The case eventually reached the Supreme Court in 1922, the appellant being Ozawa and the appellee being the United States. After close discussion, Justice Sutherland delivered the opinion of the court. The court ruled that Ozawa is not eligible for naturalization because the law states that naturalization is only for those of the Caucasian race. The denial of Ozawa's naturalization was technically constitutional because the 14th Amendment and the Equal Protection Clause did not apply to him because he was not a citizen. There was no written documentation of public outrage. However, I'm pretty sure many Asian Americans were disheartened by the ruling. Asian people were and still aren't the most politically active group of people, so I'm guessing most of them stayed silent. Also, my faithful listeners, I'm sorry to inform you that there was no opinion of dissent on this infamous case, at least what I could find. It's always interesting to hear different perspectives on certain issues, but for this certain case, we couldn't. As an Asian American, I have Asian parents who were born outside of the United States that became naturalized citizens. In 1870, the naturalization of citizens was widened to allow black people to become citizens during the Reconstruction era. However, Asians were still excluded. It was only until the Walter Act of 1954 where we were allowed to become naturalized citizens of the United States. If it weren't for the Walter Act of 1954, my parents and older sister would not be citizens of the United States. Unfortunately, the ruling of Ozawa vs. United States did not help the Asian community in the United States. What's interesting about this case is that a year later, an Indian American immigrant, Bhagat Singh Thind, applied for citizenship. What's funny is that Justice Sutherland contradicted his logic by making Thind ineligible for naturalization because he was Indian, even though he was racially white. The Supreme Court released a statement saying that he would not be considered white in the eyes of the common man. The ruling led to the denaturalization of about 50 Indian Americans who had previously had successful applications for U.S. citizenship. Alright, that's it. And as always, thank you, jury, for your service today. The court is adjourned.